ones.
That's Team Secret having done their prep work. I haven't really seen this map from them so far, but right now showing off the meta comp, the setups that they've got, it all works out beautifully.
And you've got that Steel Garden as well in the hands of Envy. Team Secret looking primed to get close, one step closer to that map point, already at 10.
And that's going to be everything that Team Secret says to Rrq right now, though.
Yeah, Rrq, they've run this against Gen G as well. Jemkin once again ready for it. He is going to get out, but a little bit trapped. See if he's able to make it out without extra scratches.
Okay for now, we're okay. Still on the other parts of the map, I mean, just watching for potential push-outs from Team Secret.
And the extra smokes the one way is coming back out on C as well, just to force Rrq's hand away from that side. But then you have Razor Vines to really delay on A. So the only thing you're worried about is going to be that B site. Two members already waiting by from Team Secret. They're even calling backup in the form of Jeremy over through Waterfall. So Rrq, bit of a Hail Mary, going to be a full send, but it's going to be the Guardian all alone on the A side. To be honest, not really sure about the weapon choices here, but Estrella, if he can get a pick, it would be huge. Looks like that's exactly what plan is, a long-range pressure. Meanwhile, a creep in, but Wildario, he reads it, he chooses to run away. Great movement, he's just isolating them one by one on a staggered retreat, and you just cannot break through the defense.
Continue to peek into me, says Wildario. But now as the spike gets tapped, Tresh going for that spam, Jemkin not quite found.
Yeah, spike planted, sure you have that, but it's got to be much better shots right now. Jemkin, he's got to get at least one. Estrella's still alive, but there's just too many members for the Guardian. He tries to flick all the way around, but 3 members still left alive. And right there, that movement for Wildario, that's one of the reasons why some of us were so excited to see him enter last year. Making that smart choice of saying, yeah, I could take out a lot because of the weapon advantage, but just saying, you know what? I have the positional advantage. I can retreat. They're going to have to continue chasing me if they want to take my weapon, and then it's just going to turn to 1v1s around the corner. Look at him just being well aware after that flash saying, okay, you want to fight me? Go again. And then he isolates the third one. It's just really, really calculated.
Such a cool micro play from the guy himself, of course. And I mean, the whole round just truly takes Team Secret one step closer to the edge, and Rrq's attack is about to break now. The timeout being called, a last-ditch effort. But, you know, Team Secret 11 points now on the scoreboard.
Both timeouts being used by Rrq, none by Team Secret. That has to sting just a bit. I mean, sure, Rrq, they accept the fact that they've already shown their Lotus quite a bit of it as well against Gen G. A lot of the set plays, a lot of their default setups, a lot of how they trade. But at the same time, you know, Coach Ewok, he's been trying to build up this team, and then you have Warbirds coming over from Team Secret himself. He knows how these players like to act. He knows how these players like to prep, and yet, perhaps anti-prep Team Secret once again in the lower bracket. They're looking very, very sturdy right now in this map of Lotus.
So darn good. You know, Rrq, it was a nice little attempt, right? Not quite just to stray on that Guardian on towards A. He did fire off a shot, but then as those pistols kind of push on through in towards C, even though they got the spike down, it still was Team Secret to hold all of it off. I mean, 3 of the players on the team are definitely just putting up huge numbers right now. Envy, 2GE, you know, a little bit from Wildario too, but Jesse Vash keeping up there with them.
So now, last-ditch effort with the rifles. The credit's not quite there for Rrq, so if you give up map point, you might as well kiss this map goodbye. Of course, the Pearl looked very good from Rrq, so you know, this being Secret's pick, Rrq, they should still be able to hold their heads high going into map 2, but you would like to get maybe a bit more. It's not map point just yet. You don't want to give up. That's how Gen G were able to overcome Rrq. So Rrq, they need to take something from that book, take a leaf out of it, and say, okay, we can also try to climb back in, make sure we win on our own terms.
For sure. We need to show quite a bit more, but right now, starting things off a little bit slow, closer towards the A side. All the advice util.
Look at this prep, though. It might even be a double swing off of this util. Look at where the Arc Rose is. They do notice it, so Rrq's ready for it. Trying to go. They're going to just try to jump all the way over it together. It's 3 people already in the site, 1 already in tree as well. So good positioning from Rrq. But we've seen this before. Team Secret, they've given up that A site before, and they do have that Steel Garden. We'll see if Rrq can get ahead of it.
Need to try it,
that's... But everybody, that range so big. Weapon advantage here for Team Secret. They're trying to make the timing work for them. There's a seize to delay, trying to get their rifles back. It's back now, coming in from Cushy. Gets one kill, delays him. Waiting for the peek out from Monyet. There's the trade. Monyet good for 3. Holds on to Tree. 2GE. No audio, but he's still got his crosshairs trained. He eventually gets taken out by Jemkin. And what a seize from Cushy to hold on to the site.
I gotta note as well, I mean, the siege was great, but then the Nightfall sent out at just the right time too. Allows for them to swing out. Team Secret, unfortunately not quite able to hold off against those peaks. And it's just great plays, great shots coming up from Rrq, right? Quickly, cutting off noise. Team Secret were still, being proactive outside of 2GE, just peeking out just to get further information. They quickly rotated on over, but thanks to that siege, thanks to the plays from Cushy, Rrq kept yet another round back into them.
Couple more chances here for Rrq to catch up. Team Secret not quite at map point just yet. They'll get closer to their own ultimates though. Nightfall online for Jesse Vash. Waldorio one away, same with Jeremy. So they're not too pressured just yet. But after a round like that, you gotta give the respect to Rrq.
Yeah, hence 3 players further up running 4 positions around A now. But Rrq then kind of pulls out another play out of their playbook closer towards B.
And this should be meant to be a bit of a faster round looking at where the shear wall is from Rrq. You're just afraid of that flank around. You are meant to hit this B site, but can they get through it safely? 2 members in through the Razor, finds a peek out, but he's just getting seized again! Can't quite get past the smoke! Monyet with a good trade as well. Blue room cleared. Boombot's gonna open the way for Jemkin. Position pretty decent for Rrq, but more importantly, only 2 members left alive for Team Secret.
At this point, might be a save as well. Gonna have to. 2 on 5, and Rrq really has everything under lock and key.
I think there's a consideration for a timeout here, just because really both these rounds are getting shut down by the one player, Cushy, on the side of Rrq. The timings he's taking with that utility, with the ult, with his own peaks, it has really shut down, and it just seems to tell you that Cushy individually, whether the team all has it or not, has the read on the timings and the styles that Team Secret has been taking, the risks they've been taking on when they want to strike back. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Obviously, the consideration being Rrq doesn't have any more timeouts. You want to give them time to reset as well.
Yeah, so definitely need to consider, if you do want to take that timeout. But, maybe some other options, right, to really delay as much as possible and come in regrouped just to avoid Cushy's seizes and whatnot. Those ultimates right now are also getting cycled up, so there is still an opportunity for Team Secret. Waldorio, 1 away from the Viper's pit.
I mean, this is still Team Secret's game to lose, for sure. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But it is going to be that timeout because now you're noticing we got to change a bit of our habits. Whatever the setups aren't really the problem, but it's how we're reacting to Rrq's pacing. Rrq now is actually not playing their own game, but they're saying, okay, you want to peek out, you want to try to get these cheeky kills, you want to try to delete, then we'll just delay you with that seize, with that fade utility. None of it being used early on the rubble fight. None of it being used to take control of C Mound. That's something that Team Secret will want to talk about during this timeout.
Yeah, we'll see really what they're gonna kind of adjust and switch around. They are, 2 rounds away from closing out the first map. But that's it. This timeout also is an opportunity for Rrq to cook further recipes up for the rest of the map. And that's why it's always tricky to call a timeout, closer to this point of the whole map.
Yeah, most importantly, obviously trying to cool off Cushy as well. Try to get him to second guess himself. Maybe the coach is second guessing themselves too. Ewok also talking passionately during that timeout. I was curious if they'll start to hit Seaside again just because they've left it empty for the past couple rounds. Seems to be the call. Now with the half buy coming in from Team Secret, not everyone able to afford to buy up. They are just going to go for a full stack on A, and Rrq, they should have the read if they just stick true to their read at the beginning of the round.
Trying to hold on to that. Estrella, though, does have quite a bit on his shoulders as the sole lurker on towards the other side. Trying to create a little bit of presence at least to keep these players invested. Prowler sent out.
That's enough information. That's more than you needed, because the thing is, you heard the Razorvine, then you heard the Prowler come out, then you saw them starting to encroach onto Rubble. So he makes the call for his team to say, we just got to go into Seaside. They've taken over Rubble, but we're not prepped to fight it. And if I get pressured, that's another gun given over.
Yeah, so keeping it safe for now. might be able to flood on through, get the spike down, but then you also got to watch out for Team Secret, right? Wild Oreo 1 away from the Viper's pit. Showstopper on the side of Jeremy as well. There is a potential retake here.
Yeah, the Showstopper's a real big one. Curious to see if Jemkin pushes out, tries to get ahead of it, try to get him on that jump. A lot of raised players trying to counter each other with that. The paranoia, that should let you know that they want to push through. Jemkin just trying to hold them off with the blast back. He saw it getting popped and he's actually just going to get away, but what happened? Xpharaoh dies to his own Razor Vines. A little bit of a mishap there, trying to escape from his own utility. Monyet holding close. He's trying to shut down the Showstopper. It gets shut down in the smoke. Now the entry, wide exposed. Monyet taking an off-angle position once again with the shorty. They don't hear it. No, they do. He notices it. Monyet catches 2GE on that shrouded step. 2v2 now between the two teams.
At the same time, just continuing to try to hold. Cushy able to take yet another down, and all that's left is just Jesse Vash needing to push through stairs. He's crouched. He gets the kill. It's down to the one-on-one. Monyet here's the tap and swings out the hit shot to end the round. Rrq keeps themselves alive.
Oh, your heart had to be pounding if you're Rrq after Xpharaoh dies to those Razor Vines on his own. We got to check the replay again, but I got to assume it's probably off of that Nightfall coming through. He's trying to walk through it, yeah, gets hit by it right at the end, maybe the decay hitting as well, but either way, rushing out of it, falls to his own util, but his team is able to hold strong. Monyet, this time, the high risks really paying off. Look at him chuckling, he loves it when he's able to play his own game. 20 kills for both Envy and Monyet right now.
Individually tied up. What we shall see as the rounds continue to play out. There's that Viper's pit now getting invested into the C site.
Yeah, the big question here is, do you even bother to try to trip that shear wall? It's so risky within the Viper's pit. So Rrq trying to see if there's any trap plays over by B main. None spotted. So they know they have a little bit more room to work with, but if you look at the map, I mean, look at how far forward Team Secret is. Rubble taken, and then the pit as well. So really the only thing Envy needs to worry about is just delaying on B site.
Yeah. Meanwhile, for Rrq, though, this really limits their options quite a bit. You know, if you're thinking to go in through B, like you mentioned, Envy's there. All the Vice ult is there as well. I mean, Vice util. So you really got to watch out.
If they're going to go, maybe it's going to be a full send with Jemkin once again, but none of this is clear. Trying to creep forward, baiting out reactions. There it is, Razor Vine, first one activated.
Envy keeping that flash as well in his pocket. Estrella, though, okay.
Okay, but at 40 seconds, Team Secret, look at the read they have. They say, okay, you try to push B, but you slow down. No signs of movement on C, and there's still the shear wall, so you can fight in the pit. It has to be on Rubble. I set, Crosshairs trained Jeremy, hiding away for it. Does he get it timing? As that screen comes down, he does! And the paranoia is good to hold them off. Now it's a fight for time. Only 20 seconds left for Rrq.
Having to push on through. Monyet at least starts it off with the kill, swinging out off the smokes. 15 seconds left. At this point, it has to be all kills, and it's all down to Jesse Vash alongside 2G to hold and defend. He gets the first one, looking for the next. 2G goes down, swings to the classic, and still lands the right click. Jesse Vash does it all once again!
The 4K with the classic holding strong, and all thanks to 2G also being right out of range from that steel garden. Rrq rushing a bit too much, just never pressured Rubble, and that's so much space you have to cover. The paranoia was never drawn out, and Jesse Vash trying to get ahead of the steel garden as well. It's just heads up play from Team Secret.
Oh my god, ridiculous. Look at that.
Oh,
the mouse flex.
All right, he's really digging into the sponsorship. You love to see it. I mean, it's been doing great for him.
Hell yeah. Still though, now Team Secret, newfound confidence pushing out against that Rubble control. Meanwhile, that presence closer towards the C site with that shear wall once more.
It's always such a pain. I mean, for both sides though, right? Team Secret had to deal with this as well. I would argue, I think they were a bit wiser, a bit more proactive about this. But Jemkin this time successfully baits it out. Even goes for a little bit of a tag with that Arcro, so they have some information about what the positions are of Team Secret by that C side.
Okay, but right now, I mean, this is the round where the judge is in play. Surely they don't know.
Yeah, this smoke should be a little telling though, right? He's trying to get ahead of the top of the screen. Now they hear it, and they're gonna be able to push him away.
Okay, DP spent. And now that just gives Rrq a little bit more space, but time is continuing to tick away.
So Rrq, if you want to play it safe, you probably use both ults to get in, but Team Secret well ahead of it. C site absolutely empty. They expect at this point, okay, you've pushed out Rubble. Sure, you're going to push and pull, but it's most likely a showstopper onto that C side. So I'm wondering if Rrq, do they go for cutting audio or just the showstopper? Looks like Nightfall already at the ready.
And so quite a bit of a send in through. But you gotta watch that time go right out the window. Right now, 20 seconds, continuing to tick. It's just Jemkin with the showstopper trying to create as much space as possible. He manages to do it, so it's the spike down for Rrq.
Yeah, he's got to win this fight, though. He doesn't even get one kill. Envy already encroaching onto Waterfall. Cushy getting ahead of it. Once again, does it come down to Cushy to hold on to this site? The shear wall is here to protect off of the backside. Waterfall already creeping in on the retake. Cushy goes down. Monyet down. Estrella trying to hold strong on the site, but it all comes down to Xfero. 1v3 up top on the boxes. The Rrq delays for just a bit.
That smoke, though, so pesky. And he hears the footsteps, tries to get the flick, but not quite landing it. Jesse Vash gets the headshot and closes out the map for Team Secret, 13-9.
Team Secret just too far ahead for Rrq to course correct with that timeout, but you gotta give credit to Jesse Vash and what seems to be maybe Envy adding a lot to the calls as well, given their movement, because they started to react just fast enough, and that one timeout from Coach Meow is all that took to get them across the finish line.
It's so smooth, so